So when a true legend passes, the world takes notice. But for Valentino Garavani, the fashion world, well, it didn't just notice, it completely stopped. Everyone's eyes were on Rome for his monumental farewell, and we're gonna dive into exactly why. I mean, why did the absolute elite of the fashion world all flock to Rome for one man's final farewell? You have to understand, this wasn't just any memorial service. This was a summit of the most powerful people in style, in culture, in movies. So what was it about this one man, Valentino Garavani, that made him command that kind of respect? Okay, just take a look at who showed up. The guest list is wow. You've got Hollywood royalty like Anne Hathaway. You've got the titans of the industry like the editor-in-chief of Vogue, Anna Wintour. And then his peers, iconic designers themselves, Donatella Versace, Tom Ford. You know, when people like that clear their schedules, it tells you something. It tells you the person they're honoring didn't just work in their world, he fundamentally shaped it. And get this, the setting was just as epic as the guest list. A historic 16th century basilica, designed by Michelangelo. Yeah, that Michelangelo. When you choose a place like that, you're making a statement. This wasn't just a goodbye, it was an event meant to be carved into history, just like the man himself. So to really get why this was such a huge deal, we have to look past the event itself and understand the man they called the emperor. Yeah, he wasn't just a designer. People called him the last emperor. And that title, it's not just some flashy nickname. It's so much deeper. It points to a kind of mastery, a level of authority that almost no one ever reaches in fashion. We're talking about complete dominance in the world of haute couture. You know, the absolute pinnacle of fashion where every single thing is made by hand, from the first stitch to the last. And how do you become an emperor? Well, it takes time. In his case, 60 years. Think about that, 6 decades in an industry that changes its mind every 6 months. A 60-year legacy, that's practically unheard of. It's a reign, not a career. And his journey is just incredible. It starts with him founding his own fashion house, the House of Valentino. Then he hits this golden age, dressing timeless icons like Elizabeth Taylor. But here's the crazy part. He then just seamlessly transitions to styling today's biggest stars, like Zendaya. How? He never chased trends. He wasn't interested in what was in for a season. He was perfecting this timeless idea of what beauty and glamour really are. As you can see, his career didn't just last, it never ever faded. So what's the secret sauce to a 60-year reign like that? Well, it really boils down to 2 key things: the incredible people he dressed and one very, very specific color. Valentino red. And no, we're not talking about just any red. This was his red, a specific, vibrant, kind of fiery shade that's just unforgettable. It became his signature, and it was way more than just a smart branding move. It was an emotion. It was passion, it was power, it was glamour, all bottled up in one color. It basically became a global code for elegance. And that's the thing, his genius wasn't stuck in one decade. He was the absolute master of dressing generations. He literally wrote the blueprint for red carpet glamour back in the days of classic Hollywood. You know, that perfect mix of flawless tailoring and pure drama. But what's so wild is that the exact same blueprint still works perfectly for the biggest A-listers today. That's what you call timeless. I mean, think about it. The absolute pinnacle of old Hollywood glamour. Who comes to mind? Elizabeth Taylor, right? Well, he dressed her. He helped create that iconic, larger-than-life image the whole world fell in love with. Okay, now fast forward. Decades later, think of one of the biggest fashion icons on the planet right now, Zendaya. He dressed her too. Just putting those 2 names, Elizabeth Taylor and Zendaya, side by side, that says everything. It says more about his impact than an entire book could. It's proof that true, genuine elegance, it just doesn't have an expiration date. And all of this brings us right back to where we started, that basilica in Rome. Now that you have the backstory, that whole scene feels so much more powerful, doesn't it? You realize it wasn't just a funeral, it was the final curtain call for a true fashion emperor. And then you see this. This might be the most beautiful tribute of all. Inside that incredible building, what did the guests do? They created a sea of Valentino red. The exact color that he gave to the world was given right back to him. Just a stunning, perfect, full circle moment captured in a single image. You know, a lot of people who were there, they didn't even call it a funeral. They called it Valentino's final show. And when you think about it, that's exactly what it was, right? The last spectacular production from a master showman. The collection on display was his own life's work. And the audience? Well, the audience was the world he spent 60 years making more beautiful.
So it kind of leaves you thinking, doesn't it? In a world like ours, where trends and fame are so fleeting, they can vanish in a heartbeat. What does it really take to build something that lasts? Something truly enduring? What does it take to become more than just a designer, more than an icon, and actually earn the title of emperor?